Okay, welcome back to the Sporting Cast podcast. I am your host, Lucas Red, on a Halloween edition. I wish my screen was big enough to where I could show you my mustache, so I dressed up as my guest. But with that being said, let's welcome in Central Michigan Center, standing 6'10", Nick Mullen. Nick, how are you today, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
We're living. I wish I had as good of a mustache or facial hair as you did, but, I can only dream. Maybe in my 30s we'll grow it a little better, so who knows.
One day. I'll get there.
I know I won't be 6'10" when I'm in my 30s, so, we'll stand it there. So, Nick, Central Michigan basketball, very unique journey for you, very unique journey for the team this year. Head coach Andy Brockma comes from Ferris State University, and you guys have a completely new coaching staff and a completely new team. How can you describe, I guess, this summer, the process for you getting to Central Michigan and what the team's looking like for this year? College basketball starts next Monday, and figured it'd be important to get a basketball star on here.
Yep. So for the team, it's been a long road of grinding out over the summer, kind of bringing in a bunch of new guys. It's difficult to do, but I think our coaching staff made a plan, stuck to it, and did a great job kind of executing that plan of exactly what everybody's role is, what we need to do to be able to come into the MAC as a brand new team, as a bunch of NAI Division II low-level guys, and come and try to win the MAC. And I think that's something they did great, making that great plan. And then for me personally, obviously it was a great opportunity to be able to come to a Division I school from a NAI school, so that was kind of like a no-brainer, but it's still tough to leave the people that I met at my last school. So that was the hardest part about it.
So you guys had an exhibition game this past week. How'd that go?
Saginaw Valley, we won by 20, I think 77-58, something like that. But it was good. We've been playing against each other since June 9th. So it's been a long, whatever that is, 5 months of just going against the same people every single day. Now we're getting to go against, another brand new team with new coaching. It was good to be able to get to play some other competition, and nice to see how we work well together and as a whole unit rather than going at each other.
Would you say there's been any big challenges for you guys since, like you said, there's 15 new guys. You guys all came from different levels, right? You had some smaller Division I schools. You guys have a transfer from Michigan as too, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And then you guys have a couple of Division II guys, and you kind of morph together. What do you think your guys' style of play will be like this year?
Yeah, I think it'll be fast-paced, kind of playing a bunch of guys, playing 10 guys, trying to, wear teams down and win the last 10 minutes of the game, kind of just keep pushing it with people throughout the game, and then the last 10 minutes are ours. We talk about that all the time in practice, and just how important it is to be in shape and kind of outwork teams in that last 10 minutes, because that's the most important part of the game. I think defensively we have a great kind of defensive coordinator, for basketball. He came over from Shrine, so he runs a great defense. We've learned it. We've kind of mastered it by now, I think. And then offensively, we move the ball. We try to play unselfishly, get everybody involved, and play good basketball.
So transitioning from the NAIA level to the Division I level, what have you seen from this summer in your exhibition game? What's the biggest difference that stands out to you?
I'd say for just the summer, the biggest change was just you're always busy. There's always something you're doing. You're feeling it on your body a lot more. In NAIA, we don't have anything over the summer. It's all on your own, so you kind of go at your own pace. But here it's, individual workout, lift. You have to take a class, so schoolwork, ready to practice, another workout, maybe shoot on the gun a little bit. You're always busy doing something else. And then just for the actual game part, it's the physicality and the bigger bodies. I was huge at an NAI school. I was even strong for most of the time there. Here, it's everybody's my size. Everybody's just as good. It's not just a stomping ground. Not that it was in NAI. There's still a lot of great players in NAI, but it's a lot different where everybody's really good. Everybody's really big, strong, and you feel it.
So for you personally, obviously each game, different strategy. Sometimes you're going to be playing more inside. Sometimes you might be playing more outside. Might be feeding you the ball based off matchups and whatnot. But where do you think your game really resonates, and how do you think you're going to impact this team the best?
I'd say for most importantly, it would be defensively for me, my ability to block shots. I think I did a great job last year, and that's a big reason why they wanted me here was my ability to block shots. So that's one thing that I focus on every day in practice. I try to focus on in the games, and just being there for whenever somebody else messes up or even I mess up, to be there as the last line of defense and go block the shot. I think another thing offensively, my ability to kind of be a big man and also shoot, stretch the floor, being able to catch lobs, dunk the ball, and also shoot the three is an advantage that not a lot of people have. So I think that's something where I can find my niche.
So Nick is a family friend. His brother and I grew up together. I've known Nick since he is 6-7 years old. And when Nick says blocking shots, I totally agree with that, because when we're home for winter break, we go to the local YMCA, play pickup ball. Standing 6 foot tall, trying to make a shot over Nick is not easy. So blocking shots, I think, is a very key and accurate stating point from you. So very good. So let's take a step back. You have a very unique journey on how you got to Central Michigan. Let's go all the way back to high school. You have a good high school career, but originally you did not play in college. So kind of tell me about that transition of what you did, how you got to IU South Bend, and how you're at Central Michigan now.
Yeah, so going back to high school, I liked basketball, but I didn't love it like I do now. I kind of was maybe a little bit burnt out on it towards the end of my senior year. And I didn't have the body really to play in college. I was 6'10", but only 155 pounds, so very skinny. Couldn't really play at the college level, and wasn't interested in it. So decided not to do that. Took a couple years off, but then got a call from Mark Urban, who was the head coach at Chesterton, and he said, "You're interested in coming to be an assistant for 1 year? Just kind of see what you can see if you can fall in love with the sport again." And kind of did. And then at the end of that year, he was like, "Do you want to think about maybe going back to play?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll try it out." And so it was a pretty quick process of just trying out for the head coach. And then at IU South Bend at my last school, and all of a sudden next year I was playing there. Then didn't play much my freshman year, started my sophomore year. Didn't have a great year, but then junior year had a pretty good year, which was my last year, and then obviously now I'm here.
So for high school, Coach Urban was your coach as well.
Yeah.
When you went back to that year, your brother was on the team, your younger brother Chris. How'd the high school season go? What'd you learn from a coaching standpoint?
That high school season was better than any of mine. We went 29-1. Which makes it easy to love it, but it wasn't just that. It was the most important thing that I learned was it's about the people that you do it with. It's kind of, winning is fun, but winning with the right group of guys is a million times more fun. It's not even, can't even explain how much more fun it is to win with the right group of guys, and we had that on the team. So everybody's got to roll. Everybody's got to find what they can do. We had people who didn't play who were just as important as, the people that started. It's not just playing and scoring points. It's finding your role, and I found mine. Everybody found theirs on the team, which is why we were able to do so much.
Yeah, you guys, I remember you guys, kind of the hype around the season as the season goes on. You guys 10-0, 15-0. You guys win the DAC sectionals. You come around, win that, go to regionals. Now Kansas, Florida, right? Was that regionals?
That was a semi-state.
Semi-state, okay.
Regionals was Notre Dame. Marcus Burton, who's a great player.
Mark, yep, point guard for Notre Dame now. Yep, he's a great player. Trying to get him on the podcast at some point. We'll see if that happens.
Nice.
You guys go to state. You run into Xavier Booker, Jake Davis, point guard. I'm forgetting his name. I know he went down to Eastern Kentucky, now to Evansville. But yeah, yes, just a very good team. Then you head over to IU South Bend. How did the process from you at IU South Bend to Central Michigan kind of happen?
that was kind of just, I worked hard over the summer. I'd kind of find whatever I needed to get better at. Like, for example, my sophomore year, I had a really good defensive year, but offensively, I wasn't really producing much. So I kind of focused on that, made sure, like, I need to be able to score points next year because we need it out of me because we're losing a lot of guys. So I made that as a focal point over the summer and ended up doing that pretty well, and was able to, average 15 points and be on the first team all conference, and that kind of helped me get to where I'm at. Like, obviously the blocking shots is an important thing too, and that was a big reason for me getting here. But also, offensively, you can't play at this level and not have an offensive game. So that was kind of the most important thing for getting me to that next level.
Where do you see yourself as a 3-point shooter? And I know, knowing your brother, he's kind of a 3-point specialist. Your older brother Jack. Where do you kind of see yourself in that, just with your size, right? Usually 6'10" guys, you assume they're in the post, but now with the game kind of changing over the last 5 to 10 years, you're seeing a lot more big guys shoot the ball.
Yeah, I would say I'm a great 3-point shooter. Any open look I get, I'm gonna take.
Just like his brother.
And yeah, probably the best brother, I'd say. Best 3-point shooter.
There you go. I like that. So what have you learned just from the high school level to playing at Central Michigan, in between all that? What's the biggest advice that you have for, I guess, 2-part question, big men, right? Like, how do you advise big men to improve their game? And B, how do you advise just high school basketball players trying to make it to the next level?
Yeah, I would say it kind of ties in together. It's kind of just, it really is the same thing. It's just find what you're good at and keep improving that. Like, you definitely want to work on the things that you're not good at. Like, there's no bad way to, like, you're not going to get worse if you work on the things you're not good at. But finding something that you're already good at and becoming excellent at that, kind of just finding that little niche that nobody else maybe has tapped into, or very few people have tapped into, you kind of are able to find a spot on a team. Like, say you're a good shooter, but you're not a good defender, become a great shooter and keep working on defense. But every team needs someone to stand in the corner while everybody dribbles around and you throw in the ball, and it's 3 points going in. For a big man, like for me, I'm not strong. Like, I wasn't strong through high school, so I had to be able to shoot threes, or I had to be able to defend and block shots, because I have to find other ways where I can't just post up and, shoot a jump hook or bully somebody under the basket and dunk it. Like, that wasn't going to be my game ever. So it's finding that little piece where you can be better than everybody else at.
So when you think about your journey, you have 2 brothers, 2 great parents, obviously a good supporting cast of family and friends. How do they play in the picture of where you got to today? Anybody else you want to, I guess, recognize as well?
Yeah, they were, everything. Like, I was just thinking about that on a walk the other day. I was thinking about how there's a lot of people who, if I didn't have them, like, there's zero chance I would be here. There's probably no chance I would have even ever played college basketball. The first one is my dad. He gave me so many things, like, just not even anything just like physical, but just like the emotional support, where maybe I didn't have that I wouldn't have ever gone to IU South Bend if I didn't have, like, his support with me and him telling me that I should do it and supporting me no matter what. And obviously, both my brothers were absolutely massive in supporting me also, but also just motivated me. Like Chris, my little brother, he's a big reason for why I wanted to gain weight and get better at basketball in order to be able to play at the college level, because we had talked about it during his senior year when I was coaching. He was telling me how important it was that I, get in shape, stay in the weight room, just get bigger, not even for basketball, but just for life, just to have a good body and, like, stay healthy. And then also he pushed me to keep playing in college, and same with Jack. When I told him about IU South Bend, he was fully on board and just ready for me to go. And then the last one is that my high school coach, Mark Irvin, he was the reason I got to Ice South Bend. He contacted the coach. He, got him out there, stayed in contact, and then for when I wasn't even trying to leave Ice South Bend, and then he was the one that got reached out to by Central Michigan and a few other schools about wanting me to come there. And he set up everything, told me what to do, gave me the numbers, put me in contact. I'm sure he put in a good word too. And so those guys are the people.
So knowing you and your brothers, everyone thinks good athletes, but what everyone also forgets, you see it on the athletic field, but also behind that, you guys, the three of you are very competitive. How do you think that has played a fact? And the way you even smile explains that. But how do you explain that aspect of it, and how do you think that's helped your game specifically?
I think it's huge. I think just instilling the competitive nature from when we were kids. Like, I know you were parts of it too, of just how competitive everything gets when we're around each other. I mean, for probably at least 10 years, me and Chris and Jack couldn't play one-on-one because it would end in a fight every single time. It just wasn't possible. And so it's that whole idea of being competitive just is the driving force of why I wanted to get better. Like, I was obviously, like, as a senior in high school, I averaged 3 points and 2 rebounds. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up, in college averaging 15 and 8, which is obviously a lot harder competition. So it obviously took a lot of work and a lot of competitiveness to be able to get there. And that's thanks mostly to my brothers, I would say. And then obviously, helps to have them motivating me to get better, like, while I'm still in college and playing sports. Like, it helps me to have them at my back, kind of pushing me to get better.
So, while we're on the topic of you and your brothers, which one of you is the best golfer?
Well, it's a tough subject, but I'm gonna have to give that one to Jack. There's not really an argument for me. If I had ever beat him, I would say me, but I haven't beat him yet, so he's gonna get that one. But between me and Chris, it's definitely me.
Okay.
I'll say that. And Jack has had an unfair advantage of he's half his job he's just golfing all the time, so I can't compete with that. He's golfing on these work trips or whatever outings. I swear 2 days a week over the summer, so it just makes it easy. I
will say, if one thing about your brothers, he's probably the best at planning a golf trip. So, if any listeners need a good golf trip in the Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan area, somewhere else, hit up Nick's brother Jack for a good time. So
we're gonna need to run that one back next year too.
Yes, sir. So, talk to me about Central Michigan. So, culture obviously is new, coaching staff's new, players are new. We've touched into that. What do you think the biggest competition for you guys this season is? What's your goals mindset and goals for conference play? And every goal is to make the NCAA tournament, right? Where do you guys see yourself in the conference?
Yeah, that's absolutely our primary and first goal, and we talk about it every day, which I think is a good thing because we can't come in and set the standards low and hit them. Like, if our goal is to be a top 5 team in the conference, that's doesn't really do anything. So our goal is to absolutely win the MAC and cut the nets down at the end of the year. It's important, and we talk about it every day. That's our first goal, but we also have other goals of like how do we get to that end goal of winning the MAC, and there's a lot of different things to it, but certain numbers we want to hit. Just kind of making sure we're scoring enough points, getting the right people the ball. There's a lot of little things like that. And then also off the court, we have goals too. Like, basketball, everybody here loves basketball and everybody has a reason for it. But at the end of the day, you can't play basketball forever. So kind of got to, like, we've talked about it all the time too, about how we want to be a team that's like everybody's at each other's weddings for the next however long it could take, 10, 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And everybody stays checking in, stays, plans a golf trip maybe, or, plays cards, and it's important to us. And I think that's one of the most important things for me is, the people. And we've done a great job of just kind of finding the right people and putting them together, and it makes it way more fun.
So, obviously with your little break between playing high school and college basketball, you're a little bit older. You have another year of eligibility. No? Last year only? Okay.
It's my last one, yeah.
So do you get the UNC treatment by any chance?
Yeah, I do a little bit, but we have a guy who's a year younger than me, and he's married and has a kid on the way.
So he bails you out.
Yeah, he does. He helps me out big time because he's always with his wife, and he's got a baby coming, I think, in a month. So he's going to be on that dad schedule soon. So he does get a little bit more than me, but I definitely get it sometimes.
And who's that? Which teammate's that?
That's Rodney Johnson Jr.
Okay, very cool.
He's a transfer from Tennessee Tech.
Okay, and then who's your transfer from Michigan?
Fat Brooks. So
what's the advantage of bringing someone like him in, right? Playing at a bigger school at Michigan, has he talked about the mindset that he's had that he's carried over to you guys on this team?
Yeah, it's huge. I think he's an unbelievable player. He's unbelievably quick and defend every position. He's a crazy good player, and I think that's the most important thing for him is his just raw talent. Is he's an extremely talented guy. Same with Rodney. They're both super, super talented guys, and they're both great leaders, and they're off the court, like leadership, and they know what to do off the court. And I think that kind of comes from them being two of our Division I transfers. We only have, I think, 3. I think there's one more, and so them kind of coming down from that higher level, or staying even, I guess, staying at the high level. Obviously, Power 5 is a little bit different, but I think that's a thing they bring that's huge. They've already played against all the competition. They know it's a big man's game. You gotta work hard. Anybody who takes possession off is coming out. So that's one thing they bring every day. That's huge. And I think if we only had Division II guys and we didn't get that kind of leadership from them, we wouldn't be the same team. So
it's Halloween. Settled debate. What's your favorite candy?
Reese's.
There you go.
Doubt.
Easy. That's an easy one. I'm not going to fight you there. It's either Reese's or Kit Kats for me, so I can't complain.
Kit Kats, yeah.
The mint version is the best of any Kit Kats, but I get it. So I know we touched on from just advice of high schools and big guys to the next level. One thing that I know about your game that I think will translate pretty well is your high IQ, especially for a big man, and then your footwork. What would you say is good footwork drills for our 6'10" and taller people watching this video? Any advice for them?
Yeah, I would say one thing that's helped me crazy is hips. Is your hips are
mobility and flexibility, mobility. Okay.
Yeah, mobility. So I've been doing twice a week with our strength coach. I do the slide board, which is just kind of sliding. It's pretty much in the name, slide.
Yeah, it speaks for itself there.
It speaks for itself, and it's huge. It just helps open up your hips. You move so much easier. You get lower so much easier because in basketball everything is about the low man. Low man wins no matter what. So that's the most important thing is hips.
Nice.
Focus on.
Keep the hips loose, baby. So this year, last year, like we already talked about, but what are your goals post-basketball? Have you thought about getting back into coaching since you've already been down that route? Is it something that has been in your mind, or are you trying to do something different?
Yeah, it's tough to tell now. I have thought about either continuing playing or coaching, but I'm not dead set on anything really. I also, as much as I love the Bears, I do want to move to Wisconsin with my brother, obviously.
Yeah.
So not really too sure on anything basketball, but it's definitely in the cards because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, basketball's great, man. We'll do a little segment really quick, just kind of any hot sports takes. We got the World Series. Did the Blue Jays close it out?
No.
Okay.
Dodgers got it.
Okay. Yeah. So you say you want to go to Wisconsin. You're a Bears fan, but I can't help but notice that looks like a Milwaukee Bucks sweatshirt. I know you as a Bulls fan as you were little, so can we get some clarification there?
Yeah, so the Bulls, the Bears have been bad for a long time, but the Bulls have been bad for, and they don't have as long of a leash as the Bears do. So, Bulls are out. Bulls are out next year.
Well, hey, man, if you play like Giannis this year, I think you guys will have a pretty good season. So
I think so too. I'm gonna start watching some film on Giannis.
good. Well, Nick, appreciate you, man. Best of luck. Very admirable to see you go from high school to coaching high school to the NAIA to the Division I level. Very unique journey. Thank you for sharing your story. We'll definitely be in touch. Maybe get you back on, or I'll get at a game at some point. We already talked about Ball State, so that's the goal there. But appreciate you, man. Good luck.
Yep, awesome. Thanks for having me, Lucas.
No problem. And that is episode 2, everyone. Thank you very much. Make sure to like and subscribe.